All right, so this is a little bit ridiculous now. So the Pentagon is claiming that they're monitoring an alien mothership in our solar system that's sending a whole bunch of probes to Earth. Now, if we haven't kept up with it, there's been a bunch of abnormal reports about alien ships spotted and interacting with the Air Force and all this other nonsense. It's not that there's an abnormal amount of these reports. Even just one of them is abnormal. It's just out of this world. Now, for years, we've all heard about, the government is going to crash the economy, or the economy itself is just going to crash due to poor monetary policy. And in an effort to distract the public from these poor monetary practices, they're going to start a world war. But this goes back to something else that has come up as far back as 10 years ago. Now, look at this character here.
I have actually suggested.
Oh, am I getting wrong?
I got it. Since it's hard to get people to do, and much better, obviously, to build bridges and roads and healthcare clinics and schools. But my proposal, I actually have a serious proposal, which is that we have to get a bunch of scientists to tell us that we're facing a threatened alien invasion. And in order to be prepared for that alien invasion, we have to do things like build high-speed rail and then once we've recovered, we'll say, "Look, there were no aliens." But look, I mean, whatever it takes, because right now we need somebody to spend, and that somebody has to be the
That's that side. Let's hear from Arthur Laffer, and then we will begin to criticize.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go to this one right now. And this is what a hell of a character.
Think about World War II, right? That was actually negative from social product spending, and yet it brought us out. I mean, partly because you want to put these things together. If we say, look, we could use some inflation, Ken and I are both saying that, which is, of course, anathema to a lot of people in Washington, but is in fact what the basic logic says. It's very hard to get inflation in a depressed economy. But if you had a program of government spending plus an expansionary policy by the Fed, you could get that. So if you think about using all of these things together, you could accomplish, a great deal. I mean, if we discovered that space aliens were planning to attack, and we needed a massive buildup to counter the space alien threat, and really inflation and budget deficits took secondary place to that, this slump would be over in 18 months. And then if we discovered, whoops, we made a mistake. There aren't actually these.
So we need Orson Welles.
Better.
What you're saying?
No, there was a Twilight Zone episode like this in which scientists fake an alien threat in order to achieve world peace. Well, this time we don't need it. We need it in order to get some fiscal stimulus.
All right, so here is the problem here. Now we have the concept of a faked alien invasion that'll get us back on our feet, that'll help repair the economy. Whatever it is in their demented minds, the problem here that I'm seeing is that this is going to get buy-in from so many people across the board. Now we saw it with people, people turning against each other. We had the lockdowns, had people who didn't agree. We had, the COVID vaccinations and a lot of people, especially on the right, didn't agree. You get things, you get the public that they can't really agree on stuff, right? Like the war in Ukraine and Russia, there's so many people who just don't agree with it. Get us far away from being involved with anything to do with that, right? But when I talk to people about aliens, it's like so many people believe in aliens. See, some believe, it doesn't matter what they believe in, what their ideology, whether on the left or the right, they believe there's aliens all around us. Now, here is something else. So this is what you call the Drake equation. This was created back in 1961, and it was a formula to give us the probability of there being other intelligent life forms in the galaxy, in our Milky Way. So it's not just intelligent life forms, but those who have developed a civilization to the point where they can now send radio waves, right, and radio transmission. So back in the 1960s and 70s, the amount of intelligent civilizations in the galaxy was proposed to be, very high. It was like from 30,000 to 100,000 other civilizations in the Milky Way. And that number keeps getting revised and revised downward down to 5,000 civilizations, down to 1,000, down to 500, down to dozens. You get closer and closer to the year 2000, 2010, and you get to the point where we are now at a point where there's a 1 in 3 chance that we are the only intelligent civilization in the galaxy. At the highest point, we could just be one of 3 in the entire Milky Way. And there is a more probable chance that we are alone in the Milky Way. There are hundreds of combinations that make our planet and our solar system unique. I mean, it's like, you think of things like the Powerball lottery where people win like $100 million jackpot or so, right? But they have to sell more than that. They have to sell more than 100 million tickets, right? There are 100 million stars in the Milky Way. There are so many combinations where you have things to do with like the arrangement of our planets in our solar system, where you have our planet in the Goldilocks zone, where typically in the Goldilocks zone across other solar systems, you get much larger planets, either large rocky planets that are much larger than ours or gaseous planets. And the theory is that there must have been a small black hole or another star that intersected with our solar system at one point and rearranged the planets, right? You get that. You have things to do with our moon. You have so many other combinations of things with our own planet here on Earth. There are so many things that make us unique. And it's like I'm saying, it's like winning the Powerball lottery. There are so many combinations to account for that makes us unique. Now, the idea that there are aliens that are passing through our solar system, sending probes, is crazy. Even at the high point, if we are one of 3 civilizations in our galaxy, where would the other one be? Would they be like right next door? And would they be in our cosmic backyard within like 50 light years away? I mean, what would be the odds of that? If we are one of 3 and there are 2 other civilizations out there, they would be far, far away. So I just want to put this out there to my fellow Americans and to my fellow human beings of planet Earth that, don't let them convince you of this. Like I am seeing news reports all the time, going back like a couple of years now. I saw in the mainstream news. And then I talk to other people I know and they think, yeah, I'm like, there should be a lot of aliens out there. Hey, you never know. They could be visiting us. Like, dude, come off it, There's no way. It's like you can go to the Sahara Desert looking for a specific grain of sand and then find it in the first day. I mean, that's how likely it is to have aliens all around us that are sending probes to us. It's just, there's no way. So that's it, folks. Don't let them convince you of this shite.